Hey guys, it's Corinne with Thompson RV in Pendleton, Oregon. I just got back from Utah camping in this Arctic Fox 865, so it felt like an obvious choice to do a review on this truck camper. Personally, I've used a lot of the different Wolf Creek models. I've used the 865 a couple different times, and 811. So it's kind of fun to see all the differences between each model. The 865 is probably my personal favorite, and I will show you the inside and show you why. We had a blast. If you stick around till the end of the video, I did use some clips from our vacation to put together a little clip so everybody can see kind of what we did. We went through Utah, we skied on the way down, stopped in Moab, and did all sorts of crazy stuff. In fact, at the end of the video, the very end, you'll see maybe the craziest thing I've ever done in my life, but also the most fun. So stick around till the end. So this 865 we have loaded on a GMC AT4 single rear wheel long box pickup. So this is the 865 long box model. You can also get the 865 in a short box model, which then gives you enough space to have the onboard generator. So kind of like the 811 or the Wolf Creek models, anything in that 8.5 foot range, you can get the generator on a short box, but not on the long box. If you want a generator on a long box, you have to go up to the 990 model or the bigger models. Typically at that point, then you're going to want a dually. The 990 is kind of in that gray area where it can be loaded on a single rear wheel, ideally on a dually, but it can be done either way. We have on this pickup the torque lift tie downs, the torque lift stable loads, the Hellwig sway bar, as well as airlift airbags. So now let's head inside. I'm going to show you the inside and show you all the storage and why I really like this 865 floor plan. So there are a couple of reasons why the 865 floor plan is my personal favorite. The number one reason is because I love how the dinette is at the back of the camper. So you end up with a lot more windows here in the back because the kitchen and the dinette are both back. And the bathroom is placed up forward towards the bed, which personally I love because again, it frees up this space and makes it have more of a homey feel. And then also it gives you a little bit more private bedroom, so it's not just completely wide open. The other thing I love about the 865 is the crazy amount of storage. So there are so many cabinets in this camper. We went, so it was me and then my 3 boys, so they're 12, and then my twins are 9. We took skis, ski boots, helmets, goggles. We took mountain biking stuff. We took clothes for 8 days for all of us, shoes, all of our kitchen stuff, everything you needed to be in this camper for 8 days. And we still didn't even have the cupboards full. I mean, we had stuff kind of tucked everywhere, but it never felt like we had too little of storage. There's a crazy amount of storage, especially up in the bedroom area, which I'll show you in a minute. But like I said, I love the fact that the dinette is back here at the back end. I love all of the natural light, and I just love the visibility. Also for a camper, it has a fair amount of counter space. So often you're working with a very small section of counter. This one, I feel like you have plenty of counter space to prep. And then because of the nice flush glass cover on the stove, you have extra prep space if you're not cooking. Then if you are cooking, you just flip this back and there you go. You have your stove. The knife rack back here, they've given you a pretty wide knife rack, which I like. Compared to some of the knife racks that only hold skinny knives, I really like my big, thick knives, and these fit all my different knives. Single basin sink right here. So it's really nice for doing dishes because you can actually fit everything into this big stainless steel sink. Like I said, lots of cabinets overhead. So you've got cabinets here. You've got a spice rack down here, 2 spice racks, a bank of 3 drawers on each side of the dinette. And then personally for us, with all of our ski boots and equipment, we had some of that down underneath the dinette. And then because I had 2 kids sleeping here, and then I had one up in the bed with me. Obviously they rotate because they fight over who gets to sleep in the big bed. But this was a really nice feature to have this bed that makes down easily. The way Arctic Fox does it, you just hold a little lever, flip up these two cushions, and it's all on its own little mechanism. So it's not like you have to take off legs or anything. It slides down really easy, makes into a bed really quickly, and then back up into a dinette really quickly. Additional overhead storage. I do love the ozite ceiling in the Arctic Fox campers. So that's something you get in the Arctic Fox that you don't get in the Wolf Creek. That's going to add to the insulation as well as to sound deadening. Because boy, I tell you what, traveling through Utah in February, we got into some crazy storms down low, which was great because we were there to ski. So up high it was snow, but down in the valley it was a lot of rain, and it's something that would keep you up at night if you didn't have a little bit more sound deadening on the ceiling. The Norcold 7 cubic foot refrigerator is another really nice feature on the Arctic Fox 865. Now, the newer models are going to come with the Furrion 12 volt refrigerator. This particular unit still had the gas electric, which was perfect for me going skiing. I didn't have to worry about solar and battery power. On the newer models, you will have to make sure that you have ample solar and lithium batteries, especially if you want to camp in the off season with low daylight hours. You've got a Kenwood stereo right up here. This unit is equipped with solar. And then again, I want to touch on the storage. So this is storage that you're going to have in the main living area. We had all of our ski gear in here. So as you can see, it's all hanging space, but I mean, there is a lot of room in this cabinet, and there's even room to set more stuff down here. The little kids, their ski poles and everything fit in this cabinet because they were shorter. One feature I didn't mention, but there's a toe kick in the kitchen. So when you're cooking, you're not kicking up against the cabinet. So there's actually space right here, just like you would have in a fancy residential home. Again, that came in super handy for us because we tucked some of our skis right up under this area, and it just kept them off of the floor. One thing about the 865 is it's a wet bath. Occasionally I hear people gripe about the wet bath. I absolutely love the wet bath. It has a ton of space to shower in here, and it just gives you more space. When you try and cram everything into a dry bath model, you just can't quite possibly fit a shower, a toilet, and all the workings of a camper in a small amount of space. I mean, you pretty much have to go up to the big 11.5, so you have to go slide outs just to get a dry bath, which ends up being tiny. The wet bath actually gives you a bigger space to shower in than you would get in most dry bath models. The sit and step is also a really nice feature in all Arctic Fox models and in the Wolf Creek. So that's something that's really nice because, you know, when we'd all be in here, and there's 4 of us in here putting on ski boots or putting on hiking boots, it was nice that somebody could sit here. But also, this helps you, you've got to step here, and then you can step here in order to get up into the bed. Now I want to show you all of the storage that's up in the bed area. Here in the bed area, like I said, in the Arctic Fox, you have a ton of extra storage. Now, when my kids were little, I really liked the Wolf Creek because right here next to the bed was open, and they were so small at the time that I actually would put down blankets, and that's where they would sleep. So this wouldn't have worked for me at that time in my life, but now that they're older and they're sleeping on the dinette, you get this extra bin right here that you can store all of your clothes in, all of your folded clothes. There's a huge cabinet right here. This is where we put all of our mountain biking gear, and I don't know that you can see it, but it actually goes all the way down to the depth of the mattress. So it's really deep in there, and then you've got adjustable shelves up here. So again, we had all of our mountain biking gear there. You can tuck stuff up here if you need to. This folds up, and you can, I'm not sure that you can see this either, but again, so down to the board that the mattress would sit on, you have all of this storage, and it actually goes under each cabinet, as well as an additional cabinet here. And then coming over here, you've got all of this storage at the head of the bed. What was cool about this was I could tuck a book, my phone, plug in my phone right here. You've got USB ports for 12 volt, 110 outlets. You've also got a cup holder, but it was really nice to just, I don't know, when you get ready for bed at night, you toss your earrings, your phone, whatever you need up in that space, and it's nice and secure. I also love having directional reading lights versus having just like a light on the ceiling, because then if I'm reading and maybe one of my sons wants to sleep, I can actually point it onto my book and read while he goes to bed. It's very seldom that ever happens. Usually they stay up later than I do. Max Air Deluxe vent fan. So you've got a nice little remote in the front area that's going to run that Max Air fan. And then the same amount of storage over here. So you get another shirt ward here, additional storage down below. And then over here, this cabinet is gigantic. So that is where I personally hung all of my clothes. But boy, I tell you what, even for 8 days, I did not need near the amount of storage that we had. So it's just goes to show you that these have more storage than you even need, which is perfect. You never want to have too little of storage. The other thing is you do get the flat screen TV right here at the foot of the bed. You can swing that around and watch it from the dinette, but it's really perfect if you're laying in bed to just be able to watch the TV right here. The 865 even has good storage on the exterior of the camper. So you've got this nice little slide out tray right here. So we put our shorter skis and poles and whatnot in this space. You could do fly rods, rifles, whatever you want to put. There's a nice long storage area for that. I store my sewer hose in the bumper. And then you've got this little storage space over here for all the miscellaneous hoses, power cord, that sort of thing. Now, if you were to get the short box model, you would actually have more space here, which would then give you the generator area. So you would lose this little bit of storage, but you would gain the generator if you have a short box. I should mention, we get this call a lot. Dodge, their axle placement is farther forward than Ford and Chevy. So they actually don't have the correct center of gravity in their short box in order to load one of the short box campers. It just ends up being too tail heavy. So if you are wanting a short box pickup, but you do want to load either an Arctic Fox or the Wolf Creek camper, you do have to go Ford or Chevy. If you're a Dodge fan, just get a long box. If you want a camper and you want a Dodge, long box only. We option all of our campers with the Fox landing. The other thing that I did on this particular camper that I've actually never done on any trailer was I added the RV lock. So that's the digital door lock. Absolutely a game changer, especially when it comes to a truck camper because it's so high, right? So if you need to unlock the camper, you have to hop up here just to get to it. Not with a little key fob. You just push a button and the kids were right in. I didn't have to do anything. Or again, with kids, they'd come up here, they knew the code, pop in, and I didn't have to be there to unlock the door. Or I'm notorious for losing keys. It's a game around here. Everybody guesses how long it's going to take me to lose the keys to my camper. So at this point, I just traded in for the RV lock, use the pin pad or the key fob, and I'm good to go. I don't have to lose any more keys. So that is my review on the 865 truck camper. Like I said, stay tuned and we'll show you some clips from our vacation. As far as truck campers go, the Wolf Creek will always have a special place in my heart. I've used those a lot over the years, but I think my absolute favorite truck camper is going to be the Arctic Fox 865. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please feel free to give us a call. We've got the number listed down below.